the weigh-in, and so far the volatile and unpredictable Tyson hasn't done anything to jeopardize Saturday's bout. With that in mind, the promoters had the two fighters weigh in 3 hours apart. Since Tyson beat Evander Holyfield 5 years ago, Tyson has fought a total of only 18 rounds against subpar fighters. Over that same span, Lewis has had 12 title fights. Still, Tyson thinks he's got the advantage.
I'm from Brownville, Brooklyn. I'm not afraid of nobody. In the ring or out of the ring, they got a gun or a knife, and I'll show him that too.
Mike, you're jumping around. You seem to be a little anxious.
I'm just ready to get it on and crush this guy's skull and show the real world champion is the best fighter in the era.
I've always boxed shorter opponents that are always trying to get in, trying to get to my body, trying to get in closer where they have the advantage. But you know, I've dealt with them. Evander Holyfield, a great technical boxer, wasn't able to get inside either. So you know, I don't see where Mike Tyson's going to be able to get inside.
Thank you. All right, let's send it back up to JB.
All right, Fran, thank you very much. An impressive performance by the hard-hitting, fast-throwing punch Manny Pacquiao, indeed, in that victory over Jorge Julio. As we take a look at the site, the Pyramid here in Memphis, that will be the focal point of all boxing fans later this evening. And as you view these aerial scenes of Memphis, Sanyo and the crew of the Sanyo Lightship are proud to be a part of tonight's telecast, reminding you that for total technology, people look up to Sanyo. And later this evening from our perch, we'll be looking down at the ring for the main event when it will be Lennox Lewis taking on Mike Tyson, the heavyweight championship fight. Mike Tyson trying to take the title away from Lennox Lewis. And that is our next fight coming up in just about 45 minutes. It will be Lewis and Tyson. The list of reasons tonight's main event might not have happened is a long one. Both fighters have different promoters, different networks supporting them. There's the January press conference with its unsightly riot and the Nevada Athletic Commission turning down Tyson for a license. But here we are ready to go in Memphis. Let's take a look at this past week here and witness all the efforts necessary to pull off a fight some said couldn't be done. With an unprecedented emphasis on separation, Lewis Tyson represents a break in many longtime traditions. Not only was casino sponsorship splintered, but neither fighter stayed on their premises. Lewis stayed in a home in a gated community in suburban Memphis. Tyson was 20 miles away from the champion in a 6-bedroom mansion.
Preparations are going on in downtown Memphis for this weekend's big heavyweight title bout.
On Tuesday, promotion build-up week kicked off. Now, usually both fighters share the pre-fight press conference. For this event, different media days separated by 24 hours. Fitzgerald's was Tyson's understated headquarters. And for the first time in 3 months, Tyson had a public training session. It lasted about 15 minutes. Then more twists. In his only scheduled press conference, Tyson skipped out, leaving questions to his handlers.
If he second-guesses himself with Mike Tyson, he'll get knocked out. You all know he got a lot of bitch in him. You know him. Can I answer your question? He's a real bitch.
On Wednesday, Samstown embraces Lewis as the champion's official training camp. The low-key day contrasted Tyson's, starting with a civil press conference.
When Lennox Lewis feels threatened, that's when he's the most dangerous. And in Mike Tyson, we feel confident, but Lennox feels threatened, and so Mike Tyson is in very much danger of ending up going out of that pyramid point or whatever it is up there with a vicious uppercut.
Questions from the press follow.
I think fear, which is going to help us do the best job that we can, especially me. You know, a little fear is going to help me.
The day ended with a 45-minute workout. Same day, more of the unexpected. Down the Mississippi riverbed, back at Fitzgerald's, the casino encouraged Tyson to be more available. An informal Q&A session emerged with local kids and a few reporters.
Any distractions this week?
This week?
Yeah.
No, unless you're going to pop up with one.
Challenger Mike Tyson weighs in at the convention center. He takes the scale a few hours after Lennox Lewis. That way the fighters are kept separate. They don't see each other until fight night, Saturday night at the Pyramid.
On Thursday, another first. Separate weigh-ins, 3 hours apart.
249 1/4 pounds for Lennox Lewis. 234.5 pounds, 234.5 for Iron Mike Tyson.
2 days to go to make sure neither fighter would see one another until the main event.
We want them to see each other in the ring, and that's the next time we want them to see one another.
Mayor Willie Harrington's kicking off the round of pre-fight celebrations with his own party tonight at the Peabody.
With the last pre-fight formalities completed, Memphis took its turn in the spotlight. By any measure, this land of cotton and home of the blues was not the typical boxing venue.
This is a great southern city with a lot of pride. We have an enormous opportunity to display to the world that Memphis can become a major fight venue. I will guarantee you all of the cities that rejected this opportunity are looking at Memphis with tremendous envy.
On Friday, the confrontational history of Lewis Tyson added to the security risks in Memphis.
We've added additional barricading, additional fencing. We've used the technology in terms of metal detectors, both handheld and permanent. And we will use additional security people to make visual checks of individuals and groups coming into the building. Anything that's brought into that building will be checked.
Tonight, doors are open, lockdown in action. The fighters arrive. So again, that all leading up to what will take place here tonight. Lennox Lewis taking on Mike Tyson. And folks, I'm with a guy who certainly looks as fit. Oh, why you bring up Stone Dog? Let's check in with the other member of our announced crew. He's got a special guest standing by with Jim Gray. Jim?
With Mike Tyson. Mike, what's it like for you tonight? It's the first time you go into a fight where you're an underdog.
I just feel wonderful. You know, I don't care what people say. The majority of people that take the bets on fight, they don't know much about fighting. I'm confident in my ability, and I know what I can do. And not only that, the opponent knows what I could do. I'm not afraid of the man across the ring from me.
Do you feel as though you'll be able to intimidate him? You've been able to do that with a number of fighters who you fought.
Well, I'm not interested in intimidating him with just a presence alone. I'm prepared to put some punishment on him than intimidate him.
Mike, you had said you might want another fight after you fought Nielsen. You've had 5 fights in 5 years, 13 rounds. Are you prepared? Are you in the shape if you had to go 12 rounds?
Oh, I can go 12 rounds. I've been going 12 rounds in the gym. I'm just prepared to fight.
How did you spend your day? This is as most relaxed as I think I've ever seen you before a big fight.
I just look at my pigeons. You know, I have my sister film my pigeons in New York, and then she sends them back, and then I just watch them all day, and that relaxes me.
All right, Mike, we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right, gentlemen, back out to you.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Jim with a very calm and focused and relaxed Mike Tyson. As a matter of fact, when we talked with him on Thursday, he was as relaxed as I have ever seen. As a matter of fact, it looked as if he had a stand-up comedy act going with us in our conversations with him then. Speaking of stand-up comedy, my gosh, between Samuel L. Jackson and Cuba Gooding Jr., as we go back downstairs to Jim and Bobby, I don't know if I've ever dealt with somebody with as much energy, either of these guys, but let's go back to Jim and to Bobby.
Whatever it is Cuba has, we want it. I'll tell you what, Jim Gray mentioned how relaxed Mike Tyson looked to him prior to a big fight. James Brown checked in with the same observation. You know him as well as anybody in our world, Bobby. Your take on Mike's frame of mind going into the fight?
You know what, Jim, is interesting you asked that, and we've all talked about it, but I have not seen Mike Tyson this calm in maybe 8 to 10 years. He's developed or come into an inner peace, the likes of which I've never seen with Mike. Now, how that translates into the ring, how that affects what he does when he's boxing, that I don't know, but I've never seen him this calm and at peace with himself. And he could be very dangerous or maybe docile.
Well,
but I doubt it.
The layman is going to say that it suggests great confidence.
Well, I know he's great confidence. The thing is that fighters think that they can win if they do the right thing. Mike always believes he's just supposed to win because.
All right. Can Mike win if, in fact, the fight goes to the judges? Well, let's take a look at the 3 judges who have been chosen for this fight, and all of them have taken long trips to Memphis. Judge number 1, Alfred Bukwana from South Africa, and you can see that he has considerable experience, but never a heavyweight title fight, and has not judged a title fight in more than 3 years, which may or may not be a mark against him, given the fact that some of the judges we see most frequently have turned in some very curious decisions recently. The second judge among the three who will score the fight is a judge that we have seen a great deal in the past, Anak Hongtongkam of Thailand. And you can see that he has a good deal of experience, but I mentioned those unusual decisions recently. He had Floyd Mayweather beating Jose Luis Castillo last month in a fight that most of us at ringside seemed to think Castillo had won. And Bobby, I know you agree with me that Castillo won the fight easily. Look at that, 116-111 Mayweather by Hongtongkam. And the third judge is another veteran of whom we've seen a great deal in recent years at championship fights, Bob Logist of Belgium. And you can see he's done 2 heavyweight championship fights, but his biggest and most notable scorecard, he was one of the judges who voted for Felix Trinidad against Oscar De La Hoya in Trinidad's controversial victory in that fight. It's sort of a given here that these three guys are not going to turn in final ballots tonight. Is it significant who they are if in fact they do?
Well, it becomes significant as to who they are with their scorecards. If they've had controversy in the past, that does become significant. How they got to this place, the most important fight in the heavyweight division, maybe in history. But I don't think the judges will ever have anything to do with this fight. I really don't.
No, I know of nobody who thinks that this fight is going to go to a decision. In fact, many writers are known to pick Lennox Lewis by decision prior to most of his fights, but in a writer's poll in USA Today yesterday, only one of more than 20 writers polled picked Lewis to win by decision. Now let's take a look at the corners for the two fighters. And as many of you may know, Mike Tyson fired his most recent trainer, Tommy Brooks, who had been his trainer for 6 previous fights, on January 21, the night before the brouhaha at the New York News Conference. And the new trainer, just added within the past couple of months, is Ronnie Shields. Went to Maui to train Tyson for this fight. You can see that he's had 1 previous experience as the head trainer in a heavyweight championship fight. It was an unsuccessful effort against Lennox Lewis. In the past, he was in Evander Holyfield's corner for many of Holyfield's championship assignments, though not as the head trainer. Bobby, your take on Ronnie Shields and his application to Tyson's situation?
Well, Ronnie's not only a competent trainer, he's a very good trainer. Now, as far as Mike Tyson is concerned, if Mike Tyson has some synchronicity with Ronnie Shields, then it's great. It has to be the fighter's decision because that relationship is so special, so private. It's a one-on-one, and it really is. But I listened to them. There's some things they're doing that really lead me to believe that Ronnie has contributed greatly to getting Mike back to like the Mike of old.
Although some believe that co-trainer Stacy McKinley more clearly and directly has Tyson's ear.
Well, McKinley has been there for a long time. He's been there through a number of other different head trainers. He's been there through a number of different managers, promoters. He's been the long haul. He knows Mike the best. Mike probably trusts him the most. That's a big deal.
Let's take a look at the resume for the man in Lennox Lewis's corner, who is one of the best known, if not the best known, current active trainer in the sport of boxing, Emanuel Stewart. And you can see his amazing record in heavyweight championship fights, 12-1-1 in title fights. The one draw, of course, the controversial draw for Lewis and Holyfield, March 13, 1999 in New York. If you go along with most ringside experts with that one, the record would be 13-1, the only black mark being Lewis's knockout loss to Hasim Rahman in South Africa last year. He trained Lennox Lewis for his last 12 championship appearances. He trained Evander Holyfield in the second fight against Riddick Bowe, won by Holyfield. He trained Oliver McCall when McCall scored his knockout victory over Lewis back in 1993. He was an architect for Tommy Hearns. He later trained Oscar De La Hoya. This is a terrific trainer in whom Lewis has a great deal of confidence, right?
And he should. Emanuel Stewart has a great track record. He's a tremendous trainer, a bona fide Hall of Famer. In the amateurs, in the National Junior Olympics, one of his fighters beat mine, and I've yet to beat Emanuel Stewart. I'm still mad at him.
So when you size up the two corners, Bobby, is there any reason not to say big advantage Lewis?
Well, right now I'd have to say big advantage Lewis as far as the training goes, but now we have to take it down to the fighter.
All right, so we'll see what happens later on tonight when they're in the ring. Meanwhile, you saw Jim Gray earlier with Mike Tyson. He has also spoken to Emanuel Stewart. Let's hear that conversation.
Lennox Lewis trainer has come out to speak with us, Manny Stewart. Manny, let me ask you first, the day that Lennox Lewis has spent, what is his mental frame of mind?
Lennox's mental state of mind is very good. He was driving over here in a limo. He said, it's time to fight now. All of the talking is over with, so he's in a good mood. He doesn't even want to talk to anyone right now. He's very upbeat. He feels very lucky to get this fight because it's the fight that he always wanted.
It's been suggested by Evander Holyfield and some of other opponents of Lennox that he cannot win this fight backing up. Will that be your instruction to him?
I think the whole world is giving Lennox Lewis instructions on backing up and not backing up. So he has to be forceful with Mike Tyson. You have to fight Mike Tyson, and you have to challenge him. You can use a jab, but you cannot just use entirely a backing up jab. Maybe sometimes once in a while, but for the most part, you've got to fight Mike, and you have to challenge him.
Are you concerned that he might be a little too cautious and therefore not aggressive?
No, I'm not concerned. Lennox has a solid plan that's been laid out, and I'm quite sure he's going to follow the plan. He's a veteran fighter.
Is there anything that Mike Tyson can do in the ring that would distract, and is Lennox concerned about Mike's behavior?
Lennox is not concerned about Mike's illegal tactics that may occur or something erratic, because he starts concentrating on that, you can get off track. And in Mike Tyson, you're still dealing with what I've always considered the best punching heavyweight of all time when it comes down to punching power. Mike Tyson has got to be rated #1. And, you know, that's dangerous enough, let alone worried about illegal tactics. We're going to depend on the referee to handle that.
And you have called Eddie Cotton, the referee, the most important referee in the history of boxing. What made you say that?
Because this fight here is more people anticipating the unexpected to happen than the normal. So it's when you have odds of 41 that it's going to end on a disqualification even. So, and both guys, Mike and Lennox, have been known to be pretty rough themselves. So it's a very good chance that the referee may end up being a big factor on the outcome of the fight.
You might not be able to answer this. Our final thought, Emmanuel. Lennox has called Mike a lot of disfavorable, nasty things throughout the course of this promotion. But does he respect him as a fighter and his fighting ability?
I think we should reverse that. Lennox Lewis has been called more names than Mike Tyson in terms of that. But Lennox...
be that as it may, you
but
understand
I'll get
the
to your question. Yeah, but Mike is, you know, Lennox respects him, but Lennox feels that Mike is overrated to a great degree, and one of his biggest weapons is intimidation. He is a tremendous puncher, but still, intimidation is just as important in Mike Tyson's arsenal as it is anything else.
Can Lennox be intimidated?
Lennox is not intimidated by Mike Tyson. Never has been, never will be. Respect his punching power, but definitely not intimidated.
Manny, thank you. We appreciate it. Look forward to the fight.
Okay, my pleasure.
All right, Jim Lampley, back out to you.
Thank you very much, Jim Gray. And here is a look at the outside of the Pyramid Arena, where, as you can see in the near foreground on this side of the arena, traffic has been backed up. One of the developing stories here, many empty seats in the 19,000-plus seat Pyramid Arena. Right now, we are told that the security detail, which is checking people as they come through the gates, has created huge lines, an enormous backup outside, and there may be some difficulty for all of tonight's fans getting into the arena by fight time. But perhaps with an eye to that, Mike Tyson has told us that he will not begin his walkout until at least 40 minutes from now. And perhaps within that time frame, the majority of fans who are now held up in security can make it into the arena, certainly for their sake, and given the massive ticket price, $2,400 at ringside, we hope so. Let's go back upstairs to James Brown.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. And I'm joined right now by a very familiar face in boxing, Mr. Joe Frazier. And, hey, folks, we've got Jim Gray, who worked the Game 2 of the NBA Championship last night in Los Angeles. And guess what? We're keeping him busy tonight. Let's head back to Jim Gray.
And we'll be back tomorrow to that game. There you take a look right there. That is master control. That is the control room where more than 35 cameras, both inside and outside of the command center here at the Pyramid, are checking out security. Right now, they are watching everybody from almost every conceivable angle who comes into this building. And right now, I am joined by Inspector Larry Godwin. He is in charge of all of security here tonight. First of all, let me ask you, there's a tremendous crush of people outside who are having trouble getting in. Will they be in time for the main event?
They'll be in. We've kind of expedited some things, and some of the magnetometers were a little sensitive, and officers trying to do their job, and they wasn't letting anybody. They were doing their job, and we kind of got things expedited a little bit.
Let's go back upstairs to James Brown.
Hey, Jim, indeed, both fighters have been professional apart. We'll find out what happens when they get together inside of that facility you're looking at now, the Pyramid, here in Memphis, Tennessee. And let me tell you, the folks here, some 1 million plus in this metropolitan area, have been simply sensational with respect to their hospitality. Also sensational, the shots that we're getting. The electronics leader, Sanyo, is proud to bring you these aerial pictures of Memphis from the Sanyo Lightship, and we much appreciate that. You saw the shots earlier showing the backup looking to get in here to see this fight here. Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson, the heavyweight championship fight coming up in just a little bit. Lennox Lewis putting his titles on the line against the man who once was considered to be the most dangerous on the planet, Mike Tyson, as they get set to do battle. Well, at this point, you've no doubt heard that Las Vegas, Nevada was the original intended site for this event. However, in late January, Mike Tyson's application for a boxing license there was denied, setting off a worldwide search for a new location for the fight. We wound up here in Memphis, a city which has never hosted a heavyweight championship fight. But this isn't the first time a country or a city has decided that any publicity is good publicity, with a nod to Kinshasa, Zaire, and Manila in the Philippines. Let's take a look at two distinctly American stories.
79 years ago, Shelby, Montana was experiencing an oil boom and people were getting rich. But now they were craving attention too.
Promoters in Shelby decided Shelby needed to get on the map. And they called Jack Dempsey's manager and said, we'd be interested in hosting a World's Heavyweight Championship fight.
Shelby officials were now dealing with one of the great sports con men of the 20th century.
Well, Jack Dempsey's manager was Jack Doc Kearns. Doc was his nickname. And he was kind of a sly old fox.
Doc Kearns summoned a Shelby promoter to Chicago, where during a night of drinking, Kearns negotiated a deal for $300,000.
Oh, yeah, that's when the trouble began.
There was a question of whether the fight would really be held and then it would come off.
In today's term, probably could be $300 million.
Eventually, Shelby had local banks put up the money needed, but the damage had already been done.
The trains were scheduled to run from Chicago to bringing out thousands of fans. Then they thought it was called off.
With the on and off again nature of the fight, a lot of those passenger trains were canceled.
They constructed a 40,000 plus stadium. The stands were maybe about 2/3 full, and I think they guessed there's maybe about 15,000 there.
And some of the people that did attend the fight crashed the game. And actually didn't even pay to attend. So it was a financial disappointment.
In 1923, the dream was to become the Tulsa of the Northwest. But Shelby remains Shelby. And locals aren't embarrassed by their 15 minutes of fame, but have instead embraced it.
Well, I think you're always proud of your history. Whether it's positive or negative, it's still history.
Did it really bust the town? Well, the town's still here today.
It can't be forgotten, and it won't die, so it continues to go on and serve as an inspiration to a lot of others. That let's try this, maybe it'll work.
42 years later and 2,500 miles east, heavyweight boxing would once again bring its main event to an unusual location, Maine.
Why would they come to a small city like Lewiston?
I guess Clay's stance on the war, the draft, or something had caused a number of states to refuse to take the fight.
Because of Liston's criminal record, they wouldn't give him a license.
They came to me and they said, you have a problem with that. And I said I didn't. I couldn't see any downside, and I thought it'd be good for the town.
Lewiston residents didn't realize they were about to host one of the shortest and most controversial heavyweight title fights of all time.
Standing outside on the slopes there, facing the building there, waiting to get in, and a lot of them never made it.
I remember turning and putting my wife's wrap on the back of her chair like this, and I turned around, the fight was over. It was that quick.
The fight itself was a dud. I mean, really. You've seen better fights on the street corner.
But much like Shelby, Montana, locals have learned to put a positive spin on the night dubbed the Shame in Maine.
Well, I think some people are embarrassed by it. I don't know why they would be. But it never bothered me. I thought it was, that's probably the only time people ever hear about Lewiston, Maine.
I've traveled in many states, and when they know I'm from Lewiston, this is what they talk about. Lewiston, that's where you had that famous fight.
All I know is it put Lewiston on the map when he came in. Oh, yeah, that was quite a talk for a long time.
It made sports history. Good or bad, we live with it.
For the people of Lewiston, Maine and Shelby, Montana, brushes with boxing fame turned out to be bittersweet.
Well, the script has yet to be written as far as Memphis is concerned, but as I've said repeatedly throughout the evening, Memphis has been a wonderful host, a city, of course, that has never hosted a heavyweight championship fight, but the folks here have been wonderful with their hospitality. And let me tell you, it's nice also to come to a place that knows how to cook grits extremely well. All right, folks, let me send you back downstairs. Bobby Ches may get on my case for having eaten some grits, but let's go back to Jim Lampley and Bobby Ches.
Bobby ate Italian, JB. He stayed away from the grits. I was the one, but of course, I come by it honestly. This is my mother's hometown. Our generation's Lewiston, our generation's Kinshasa, Zaire. And Bobby, I know you were downtown last night. I thought the scene in the streets downtown in Memphis was the most raucous, vibrant, and energetic I've ever seen before a prize fight.
Well, you know, I have some friends that have friends downtown on Beale Street. I've been on Beale Street before. Spent a little time at Silky O'Sullivan's joint, having a lot of fun, dancing up a storm. I loved it.
Yeah, it was belly to belly in downtown Memphis last night, and now the crowd is beginning to file in here. As we wait for the walkouts, let's take a look at a couple of fights which represent key junctures in the careers of Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson and raise both questions and perhaps answers about them. We'll start in Madison Square Garden in early summer of 1996 on a night when Bobby Ches fought Evander Holyfield, and then in the main event on that card, Lennox Lewis fought a tough 10-round battle with Ray Mercer, ultimately won on a razor-thin split decision by Lewis. And Bobby, a lot of people thought this fight showed Lewis's vulnerability against a really tough guy, but others saw it as a mark of his ability to respond under pressure.
Well, he responded under pressure well. I thought he just barely outpointed Ray Mercer, but I don't think Ray Mercer trained well enough for that fight. Mike's not going to come in anything less than perfect shape, is my assumption, with a fighter as big and as dangerous as Lennox. But Mercer rocked him regularly, and that says something because we still believe Mike is the hardest puncher, even harder than Ray.
This was a fight in which Lewis's delicate chin was tested and weathered the storm. Is Mercer a big puncher?
I'll tell you what, I was sparring with Ray once, 18-ounce gloves and a headgear. I thought a piece of cement fell out of the ceiling, Jim. He does hit hard, but I was lucky enough to recover well, but he really does punch well.
Lennox Lewis was ultimately able to win the 10th round of that fight and gain victory, he says, largely through the advice of Emmanuel Stewart, who helped him get through what was probably the toughest fight that Lennox Lewis ever won. Let's turn to the career of Mike Tyson and the question of how Tyson has done against taller fighters. We're going to take a look at a 12-round fight from relatively early in Mike's career, 1987, against former heavyweight champion Tony Tucker. And some see this fight, Bobby, as evidence that Tyson has had difficulty finishing larger opponents like Tucker.
Right, but the key here is he went to 12 rounds. He won probably 10 of the 12 rounds. I was at that fight. Tucker's tough. Tougher than Lewis probably. Not as good a boxer, not as good as puncher, but probably tougher than Lewis. He took some tremendous shots. He never really staggered, never really went down. But Mike was there throwing for the full 12 rounds. That's the key. If this fight goes late and Mike is still in shape, he still can win a decision.
Further action from 1987, the much younger Mike Tyson against Tony Tucker. You can see that Tucker landed a couple of big shots in this fight. Nobody has ever really questioned Tyson's chin. Tyson has indeed been twice a victim of knockout loss, but not as the result of one punch. And there you see a graphic which suggests that against larger fighters, Tyson usually fights a longer fight. Against shorter fighters, many more quick knockouts. But then again, Bobby, some of the taller fighters he fought were simply better than the smaller guys.
So that's true. If you have talent, whether you're tall or you're short, you're going to bring it to the table and use it to the best of your ability. And it's, again, when you're tall and you got that reach and height, it acts as a built-in defense. It makes it tougher for the small man to reach you, harder on your energy bank. And you know what? It's just tough to get to those big guys when you're short. Mike's short.
If you've read anything at all about this fight, you know there are a variety of unique elements completely endemic to this fight and this fight only. One of them, separate referees' instructions to be held in the dressing rooms, no referees' instructions to be given at the center of the ring. So there was extra importance when Eddie Cotton went to Mike Tyson's dressing room just a short time ago to talk to Mike about the conduct of the fight.
Over a few rules. There's no 3 knockdown rule. All right, a fighter can't be saved by the bell in any round. All right, if a fighter gets knocked down, the fighter that's standing, I will usher them to the neutral corner. Wait till I tell you to come out and go to work. All right, make sure that you keep your punches up, obey my commands. I'm going to say stop, break, and box. All right, we're starting with a clean slate. Whatever happened in the past doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm going to say the same thing in the other corner. All right, you got.
You heard Eddie Cotton earlier saying another severe foul by Tyson could well lead to his banishment from boxing. If, in fact, Mike is gripped with a sincere desire to want to stay in the ring and to avoid any foul whatsoever, could it distract him enough to inhibit him in the fight?
I'm not sure it'll distract Mike Tyson. Once Mike Tyson gets going, you flip that switch, he's just a raging bull that wants to fight. Sometimes he loses control. This is the problem I've always had with him. I've talked to him as a friend and as a colleague, as a former fighter, saying, Mike, listen, you got the rage. You know you have the rage. We all have the rage, but you got to harness that within the parameters of the rules. And I think he's really focused and is going to do that.
One foul with which Tyson has not frequently been charged in the past, low blows. But Emmanuel Stewart has told Lennox Lewis to look out for low blows because that's something that often happens with a shorter fighter against a guy who's really tall.
Well, that sometimes just happens because, and you saw it many times, we saw it earlier tonight, when you reach a guy, pull his head down, and the little guy's swinging up, sometimes he will catch you south of the border. But Mike Tyson has not really been known to do that, so I can't expect he's going to start tonight.
And Lennox Lewis has been known to drape his arm across opponents' backs. In fact, Michael Grant said he held my head down when he knocked me out.
If you watch the replay of that fight, he did just that. He held him behind it and threw an uppercut right into Michael Grant's face while he was holding the back of his head. Technically a foul, bad punch. Referee didn't say a word.
The really crafty veterans know how to get away with a foul or two from time to time. Let's see what Eddie Cotton had to say in Lennox Lewis's dressing room.
Lennox, I just want to go over a few rules. You already know them, but there's no 3 knockdown rule. There's no standing 8 count. Fighter can't be saved by the bell in any round. If there's an accidental headbutt or an injury before completion of 4 rounds, it'll be a technical draw. From the 5th round on, they go through scorecards and they also score that round. I want to tell you the same thing that I told Mike, that we're starting with a clean slate. And whatever happened in the past has nothing to do with this fight. All right? Make sure that you keep your punches up, obey my commands. I'm going to tell you stop, break, and box. They mentioned that there's a couple things that they want me to look for, such as hand out without actually throwing a punch, and also hitting and holding on the break. Okay? Got any questions? I expect a good, clean fight.
Bobby, when you look back at Evander Holyfield's big win over Mike Tyson in 1996, he seemed to me to disturb Tyson's rhythm early in the fight by grabbing him by the shoulders, muscling him, throwing him around the ring a little bit. Lewis, we've seen do that in his fights against Holyfield. Will Lewis try to do that against Tyson?
I can't see why he wouldn't. He's got a shorter man. Once he gets close, he's got to do something. He's got to hold on or tie Mike up all the way, because on the inside, Lennox Lewis's advantages with his reach are all negated. He doesn't have the power on the inside. He has it from the outside. Mike has it inside. He has the range, the reach, the leverage on the inside. He has to do something when Mike gets inside. Otherwise, going to have a long night.
And unlike Riddick Bowe, a tall fighter who loved to fight inside, Lennox Lewis has seemed to always know it's not his game and has avoided it.
He certainly has, and it's smart. If it's not your game, why fall into that trap? Fight from the outside box where you're most effective. Set the fight distance so that it fits your style. That's what he does.
We could talk all night about this stuff, but we're closing in on fight time. Let's go back upstairs to James Brown.
All right, Jim, and as we take a look at some of the lights outside, a lot of lights and stars on the inside, we're pleased to be joined by yet another.
All right, thank you very much, JB. And once again with Bobby Ches, we told you about separate referees' instructions following a pattern which has obtained all week, separate Blockbuster outlets for renting videos, and, of course, separate weigh-ins 2 days ago. And both camps seem to believe, Bobby, that the scale for the weigh-in was heavy, so we're going to take a look at some weights which probably are not entirely accurate. Here's a look at Mike Tyson's last 6 weigh-ins, and you'll see that 2 days ago he weighed in at 234.5 pounds. Now, trainer Ronnie Shields and others in Tyson's camp said that they believe that scale is 6 or 7 pounds off. So for the sake of argument, since Lewis's camp agrees, let's say that Tyson comes into the fight, Bobby, weighing 227 or 228 pounds. And you can see that earlier in his career, he preferred 222, 223. Way back in the old days, 218. What do you think of 227 as a weight for this fight?
I think 227, 228 would be perfect for Mike. But either way, if the scale's off 6 pounds, there's only 15 pounds between them, which I think is about where Mike wanted to be. He thought Lennox might come in a little lighter, to be more mobile, to be a little quicker, keep Mike's power offset with speed. So they're 15 pounds apart. Mike's a lot shorter. It's all compact. I think 227, 220, if that's what he is perfect for him.
Is the benefit of the extra weight to help him take Lewis's punch or to help him deal with Lewis's physicality and gain space in the ring?
I think it would be a combination of him being able to lay extra power into Lennox Lewis, hit him with extra hard punches, and as well as the physicality of it is one of those things too. When the big man is pressing on you all night, it makes you tired. it will drain you, it will wear you down. Big George did it to everybody masterfully. Lennox doesn't do it as masterfully, but he still does it.
So how big is Lennox Lewis? Well, once again, Emmanuel Stewart agreed with Ronnie Shields that the scale was probably off. So though Lewis stepped on the scale and was measured at 249.25 pounds, which would be heavier than his weight in the sensational performance against Rahman last November, Emmanuel Stewart says he weighs 243, and that would be the lowest weight in the recent career of Lennox Lewis, significantly lower than in any of his recent heavyweight championship fights. 243 for Lewis. Too light and meaning that he's overtrained, or great meaning that he is in sensational shape?
I would translate that into great, and that he's in great shape. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's ready. He's got the power, and he's still got speed now.
So you think that just as Mike might have been conscious of Lennox's strength and power in adding extra weight, that Lennox might have taken off more to deal with Mike's speed and movement?
Right. I think he's going to be very conscious of the energy he's going to need to expend. He's got to be lighter to do that without being prematurely fatigued. That's why I think he's lighter.
All right. Let's go back upstairs to James Brown as we continue to prepare for what may or may not be the fight of the decade in the heavyweight division.
Preparation indeed, Jim and Bobby. Folks, we are all done with all of our undercard and pre-fight business. Indeed, the Lewis-Tyson fight is next. The question is, and I think it might be appropriate, is are you surprised? Because after all these months of is it going to happen, where is it going to happen, and will it happen, the time has finally come to forget about all of those questions and focus on a boxing match.
We have seen them. We have heard them.
You can't stop me. Fuck him. Definitely not scared of Mike Tyson. I'm the best there is. Want your heart, I want even children. Praise be to Allah.
The fight is on. It is on for Mike Tyson. 16 years ago, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion ever. He was destined to be one of the greatest of his era. But a fight with a buster stopped the historic path once laid before him.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson. Mike Tyson has been knocked out.
Since then, his early career accolades have turned into late career fiascos. Tonight, Tyson will try to redefine his prize-fighting status. Can this be the night of his boxing redemption? The fight is on. For Lennox Lewis, the champion who has proven his ability in the ring. But Lewis himself has also seen his path to the top take a turn for the worse. Most recently, between a rock and a mat place. However, he always answered his critics by avenging his losses.
It's over. Lennox Lewis got revenge.
The question of his greatness has always come down to his opponents. And tonight, Lennox Lewis faces what he considers the last man standing in his era.
Mike Tyson, you could say this is the last misfit in my era.
Can Lewis finally gain the respect that he truly deserves as the heavyweight champion of the world? Can he once and for all silence his detractors by defeating another notable opponent? Tonight, it is on.
Lennox, I'm coming for you. You want it? Come and get it.
No more talking. No more waiting. Lewis versus Tyson.
Yes, the fight is on. Heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis against former champion Mike Tyson. Moments from now, both fighters will be entering the ring. Then you'll find out once and for all whether Lennox Lewis can take the punch and physically dominate Mike Tyson, or whether Tyson can regain the form and self-control which once made him the most feared champion in the sport. Lewis versus Tyson is being brought to you by the Pyramid Memphis. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This Bud's for you. And by America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Among the notables who are here to watch this boxing match, again, celebrities from everywhere. Oscar winner Denzel Washington, Tommy Hearns, powerful himself in his day, Gregory Hines, and a guy who's enjoying a skyrocketing career, The Rock. Chris Webber from the Sacramento Kings came so close to knocking off the Lakers along there with Tyra Banks. Roy Jones Jr. still with lightning quick hands. Vince McMahon, I guess you can call him an athlete as well. Donald Trump, the ever-present Donald Trump. And to the right there, Wesley Snipes, the actor, as well as Kevin Bacon to his left, and the guy who always follows boxing, Magic Johnson. And good evening once again, everyone. I'm James Brown. A pleasure to have you alongside as we get set for this main event here. I am pleased to be joined by the former heavyweight champion, Evander Holyfield, as we are just, again, as I said, moments away from the fight that has been the subject of much debate, and certainly the efforts to bring it to fruition have been fraught with controversy. Evander, let's get right to it. You have fought both Tyson and Lewis. You beat Tyson twice. It was a draw and a loss to Lennox Lewis, yet you're decidedly picking Mike Tyson. Why?
Well, styles make fight. I truly believe that Tyson's style offset Lennox Lewis' style. Lennox Lewis is a skillful boxer, but he very unpredictable. He's very passionate. He don't have the passion or the fire that to dictate the pace.
Even if a guy is coming at him aggressively like we expect Tyson to, you wouldn't expect Lennox Lewis to be passive then, would you?
Well, you wouldn't expect him to see, but Tyson throw a lot of punches. It's not going to be just one punch. I'm sure that Tyson going to throw a lot of combination. And styles do make fights. When you go to the body and the head, the man that retrieving back tend to get hit with 2 or 3 other punches that one may throw.
Okay, let's make no mistake about it. Lennox Lewis is a champion, a guy who has a very powerful jab. So what will be Tyson's most effective weapon against Lennox Lewis?
Well, actually, it's his bobbing and weaving. His bobbing and weaving, jumping in there off key. Tyson's kind of awkward when he moves back and forth. He's not on a really account. And then once he come into, he explodes into you. He bend down and he jump out just like a cobra. When you look at it, he's on top of you. He's throwing the 2 or 3 shots in, and this is how he usually get one of the shots in.
As if I haven't heard you, and I did. I mean, with all due respect, you beat Tyson twice, as I mentioned before. You weren't able to get through and penetrate against Lennox Lewis. So what is it that Tyson will bring to the table that you weren't able to against Lennox Lewis?
Well, Tyson got a lot of springs in the leg. He got quicker steps. Tyson, he'll leap off that. I don't jump off the mat. Tyson will. Tyson take more chances than I take, and he may throw the right hand. He may throw the left hook. And if he can't reach, he'll jump up in the air and catch you. So, he's unpredictable. And so a man that takes chances is always going to connect on one eventually.
You looked awfully sharp last week against Hasim Rahman. We know you have a lot at stake tonight, so we'll be watching with interest as well as you. Evander, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, partner. Folks, here are the results of who you at home think will win tonight's Lennox Lewis Mike Tyson fight. As you take a look, it is interesting. As we've gotten closer to fight time, more people have swung in Tyson's corner. As you heard Evander Holyfield said, 54% favor Mike Tyson will take the title from Lennox Lewis. And remember to vote round by round on who you think is actually winning the fight. We'll give you results throughout the night's fight. And now downstairs once again to the guys who will be calling the action, Jim Lampley and Bobby Ches.
All right, thank you very much, JB. Well, Bobby, you need not be a Harvard graduate to know that Mike Tyson is going to come to the center of the ring and attack. Emmanuel Stewart and everybody else in Lennox Lewis camp says that Lewis is going to go straight at him and try to preempt Mike's aggression with his own aggression. That means this could be a brief, blazing combustion. Is that the fight you expect to see?
How could you not after hearing that from both people? Mike Tyson fights in one direction forward and one speed very fast. If Lennox Lewis does what Emmanuel Stewart said, comes out looking to get his pound of flesh, looking to get his respect and put some hurt on Tyson, they have to meet in the middle of the ring and there has to be an explosion. I think early, the first 2 minutes of the first round, maybe even the first 2 or 3 rounds, this fight has to be explosive. If someone's still standing after that, it may level off. I just don't think so.
Good seats still available, but it's getting late. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape now for Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. Both of them getting up in years. Lewis will be 37 later this year. Tyson will be 36 at midsummer. 6-inch height advantage on paper for Lewis. Some suspect it's even bigger than that. 13-inch reach advantage for Lewis. An advantage when he's outside, but can Mike get inside of that big reach advantage? And the unofficial weights, I say unofficial, well, let's call them the official weights, because this was done on the Tennessee scale. 249.25 for Lewis, 234.5 for Tyson. Both camps agree, as we've told you, that the scale was off 6 or 7 pounds heavy. They say Lewis weighs in the range of 243, Tyson 234, not that, but rather about 227 or 228. Rules of the bout with Bobby Ches.
Thank you, Jim. This fight, we use the rules of the Association of the Boxing Commissions. Scoring is a 10-point must system with no standing 8 and no 3 knockdown rule. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight. And in case of an accidental foul, we go to the scorecard after round number 4.
As the challenger, so the man who once was the youngest heavyweight champion in history now will try to regain the title at the advanced age of 35. This is the first time in history that 2 fighters over the age of 35 have met each other for the heavyweight championship of the world. It's also the first time in 92 years since 1910, Jack Johnson versus James Jeffries, that the fighters will not touch gloves in the center of the ring prior to a heavyweight championship fight. Crowd inside the arena, wondering what caused the delay, maybe thinking that Lewis has been slow to exit the dressing room, but of course he's right on cue. So often in sports, championship teams try to develop the psychology that they haven't gotten respect for their accomplishments and therefore still have great incentive. What's happening in this arena is a mark of disrespect to a guy who's won the heavyweight championship 3 times.
You know what? You can never tell. Fans are funny. People are funny. They're only as good as yesterday. And
We'll give you one overhead look at the most unusual ring setup in the recent history of boxing, as Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis are separated by a cordon of security forces. And now ring announcers Jimmy Lennon Jr. and Michael Buffer will start it off.
Memphis, Tennessee. It is time for our historic night of boxing and our long-awaited, much-anticipated featured bout of the evening. This bout coming away is brought to you by Lion Promotions, Main Events, and Fight Night, Inc. in association with Prize Fight Promotions, as presented by the undisputed King of Beers, Budweiser.
Boxing fans, the moment we've all been waiting for is here. It's the Rumble on the River. Tonight here in Memphis, Tennessee, we will turn the page to another chapter in the history book of boxing legends. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event. 12 rounds of boxing for the linear, legitimate, and universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, the International Boxing Federation, the International Boxing Organization, and the great state of Tennessee.
Representing the WBC, President Jose Suleiman, Supervisors General Kovid Punktipum and Rex Ross Walker. For the IBF President Marion Muhammad, Supervisor Linda Torres. The IBO President and Supervisor Ed Levine, and the Tennessee Commerce and Insurance Commissioner is Ann Pope.
The 3 judges assigned to ringside scoring this contest on the 10 points must system are from South Africa, Alfred Bukwana, from Thailand, Anik Hongtongkam, and from Belgium, Bob Logis. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action from the United States, Eddie Cotton.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, the time for talk is over. The time to fight is here. It's the time we've all been waiting for. Live from the Pyramid in Memphis, it's fight time! Introducing to you first the challenger on my right. He is fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing his traditional solid black trunks and hailing from Catskill, New York. He weighed in at 234 1/2 pounds with a record of 49 wins, 3 losses, 2 no contests. He has 43 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the youngest man ever to win the heavyweight title, currently ranked the #1 contender by the WBC. Please welcome tonight's challenger, the explosive 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the one and only Iron Mike Tyson.
And hiding out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with red letters, and officially weighing 249 1/4 pounds. He captured Olympic gold in 1988. Now, as a professional, he has 39 victories, including 30 knockouts and 3 world titles. He has 2 defeats and a draw, all by way of rematch have been changed to victories, making him one of the few men in boxing history to have virtually defeated every man he has ever faced. Ladies and gentlemen, from London, England, presenting the 3-time world champion, the linear, legitimate, and universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis. These 2 great heavyweights must now step forward when the bell rings. Only one will be Destiny's hero. Only one will pass from heavyweight greatness to heavyweight legend. So now there's only one thing left to say. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
13 years ago, 17-year-old Lennox Lewis, then a Canadian amateur star, was taken to upstate New York to spar with 16-year-old Mike Tyson. They lived in the same room for a week, sparred every day in the gym. As Lewis puts it, he bloodied my lip, and I busted up his mouth. Now they get together again as professionals, as Tyson's late trainer Costomato had predicted they would. And here we go. Tyson jabbing and moving his head early.
Tyson working in behind the double jab. That's what he said he was going to get back to.
Lewis with his own jab, but punching from the back seat. Backing up a little, unlike what Manny Stewart told him to do. Big uppercut for Lewis. He thinks Tyson's hurt.
What happened there? Mike charged a little prematurely, got off balance, and Lennox took his shot.
It's been a long time since Mike Tyson has been hit with a puncher who has the kind of power Lennox Lewis has. Tyson gets in a left hook. Lewis counters with a right as Tyson misses wildly with a second left.
Lennox is going to have to hold on, but Mike's coming in behind punches. Look, we're going to see a lot of this fight. The attrition factor is going to become big. Lennox is going to lean on Mike, try and frustrate and hold him, tie him up excessively.
All right, stop it. Come on, stop it. Come on.
Tyson trying to get to Lewis's body with the left hook. Lewis wrapping Tyson up when he gets inside. No expert expected Lewis to try to fight inside with Tyson.
Right now, Lewis isn't trying to fight at all. He's just trying to sort of thwart the punches by stepping into them and smothering them, and then hold on.
Jab by Lewis. Tyson rocks him with a left hook. Lewis doing a lot of holding in the first minute and 40. Tyson half blocked Lewis's right-hand shot. Mike not jabbing his way in, though, Bobby, just walking in.
Well, he's trying to jab his way in, but he's trying to get the right hand to land somewhere, too, to hurt Lennox so he can get the left-hand combination following.
Big left hand by Tyson after the jab by Lewis.
And he worked that hook off a jab.
This time it's Tyson who grabs Lewis as Lennox was about to fire the uppercut.
Lennox is looking to try and time Mike with that right hand. There you saw it. But Lennox is backing up a little too much.
Big right hand over the top by Lewis. Grabs Tyson as Mike falls inside.
Lennox is laying on the back of Mike's neck quite a bit. He'll be telling on Mike's back later in the fight.
One punch at a time. Neither fighter has put together a coherent combination in the first round.
This man ain't much on a fight. Just settle down. If you really would see how bad he looks, it would be surprising. Settle down, get yourself together, start working your jab. You took all of the anger and slowed him down already by wrestling and tying him up. Okay? Just take your time. Don't let him fight the fight that he's trying to make you fight. Take your time, get to work at your jab. If you hit him with the right hands and uppercut, just slow down.
Maybe two. If you can get two in, that's fine, okay? But don't let this guy try to tire you out. Relax yourself. I'm telling him.
Just stay cool.
We hollering at him, okay? Okay, just relax yourself, baby. That was a good round. You won the first round, okay?
Double jab like we worked on, step up and control the second jab. You got this
Every
guy.
time you get one. Now look, start using your face now. He's trying to load up with right hands on that. He can try to come on top first and then uppercut, okay? Be fast, baby. Be fast.
Tyson, concerned between rounds about Lewis holding him and putting his weight on him, asked Ronnie Shields to talk to referee Eddie Cotton. Shields just turned around and made that comment to Cotton, who ignored him and said, come back and fight.
Well, the first round, Mike was technically the effective aggressor because Lewis wasn't really aggressive. He threw more punches. He landed a few more. Got to give him the first round, but not by a lot.
And now the crowd approves as Cotton warns Lewis for holding. The first warning.
Nice and easy, Mike. Nice and easy. Come on.
Uppercut. blocked.
Yeah, the uppercut landed on the elbow of Mike coming in because he got his hands tight. Even there, not really hitting a lot on the way in. It seems that Lennox is more concerned with finding which arm to grab first rather than get his punches in.
Jab by Lewis. He hasn't really gotten it going. Now he starts to work in rhythm. Tyson lunging, firing with the left hook. Lewis was gone.
Pick up. Nice and easy. Come on, pick it up.
Tyson fighting at a measured pace, not the whirlwind that some expect. Lewis seems to believe that the uppercut is going to be a big weapon for him here.
It has to be. The big man gets leverage with the uppercut. Mike's coming in, he's ducking down under the punches, and walk right into it. But there, Mike, even with the double jab, he's short, he needs to throw the right hand. As Lennox dips with that right uppercut, Mike needs to fire a straight right hand. He'll catch Lennox on the way in.
Lennox seems so eager to throw the uppercut that he may throw it from outside. That can be a mistake if your opponent counters it with the right timing. And Eddie Cotton warning Lewis a second time about holding. Point deductions could be coming.
He hit Mike with that uppercut clean, rocked Mike's head.
Get out!
The uppercut is good. Lewis's more dangerous right-hand punch is the overhand right. That's his bigger bomb. As round two progresses, Mike Tyson is falling into a pattern of lunging and throwing one punch at a time, Bobby.
He's not using the jab. There he's trying to use it, but not using it well. He's got to step to it. He can't worry if the jab lands. It's just got to get him to the inside where he's got to fire the right to the body, to the jaw, and follow with the left.
At that time, as they joined together, Lewis held his arms in the air as if to say, I'm not the one who's holding, Eddie. Uppercut and a left hook from Lewis. He doesn't throw it all that often.
A nice right hand uppercut and the left hook was beautiful. Mike put it on the chin very well. But this round is all Lennox Lewis.
All Lennox Lewis in round two, and increasingly so as the round progressed.
Okay, look, champion, look, listen to me. Remember I told you, you cannot let this man throw too many jabs at you without you coming back with something, right? Okay, look, you started using your face, but you quit jabbing. You have to be in this man's chest. You understand? Make this a very ugly fight now, okay? I want you right in
the changes. He's slowing down real bad.
35. It's 35 that round. Left hand. Keep your hands
Work
up.
the jab. The jab is pumping now. The jab is pumping. That's what you're waiting for. Right there.
Keep your hands up, baby. Keep
Fighting
your
a
right hand up.
masterpiece that round. Dude, you're on your way.
Mouthpiece. Here you go. Here you
You're
go.
on your way, baby.
Seconds out!
Round three begins. After seeming to control the tempo in round one, Mike Tyson slowed considerably in round two. Lennox Lewis got his jab working. You heard Emmanuel Stewart say, just keep it up.
Lennox Lewis made the adjustments in the second round. Now Mike needs to remake adjustments on his side.
Now Lewis not holding, but rather just pushing Tyson off.
Right, Mike's got to come back in behind the jab and fire. He can't just try and hit him with the jab. The jab is not meant to just be a point getter for Mike. It's meant to close the distance and put something in Lennox's face to worry about.
Punch out, get out.
And you heard Ronnie Shields say, get into his chest and make it an ugly fight. The more they fight from this range, the more Lewis's chances increase.
All right, stop. Step back.
Mike can't win the fight at that distance. If Lennox Lewis can set the distance of this fight, Mike has no chance. He has to shut the gap down, get inside, bring the fight to where he's comfortable.
Does he look eager enough to do it?
Mike looks like he's waiting too much. Doesn't look like he's found his rhythm. Lennox Lewis's jab is finding his mark more and more often.
Lewis picking Mike Tyson off with the jab as Mike tries to step in, able to keep Tyson at long range so far in round three.
Right, get out. Come on.
Lewis no longer seems to be trying to hit Tyson with anything big, Bobby. He's just tapping it.
Well, the jab is a pretty stiff jab, not a real shotgun jab, but it's a pretty stiff jab. Popping Mike's head up, and then when he comes in, Mike, he just ties him up.
You can almost see Lewis trying to fight his natural tendency to go backward. His mind wants to go forward, his body wants to lean back.
And I sometimes think his body wants to go forward, his mind keeps pulling his body back because he's worried about getting hit with those shots.
There is blood around the right eye of Mike Tyson. Tyson blinking a little bit and looking momentarily distracted by what seems to be a nick somewhere near his right eye. That would be the product of Lewis's jab. And there's a huge left hook by Tyson, but Lewis took it well.
Lewis took it well. Didn't seem to be anything there.
That was Mike's best punch of the fight. But the Lewis chin held up. And now Tyson begins to paw at the blood on his right eye, and Lewis busts him with the right hand. Look at Lewis dropping his hands to his waist.
Well, you know what? More than one man has gotten cocky and lost because of it. Not the time or the man to do it against.
That's where Lewis was holding his hands when Hasim Rahman knocked him out in South Africa.
I rest my case.
As Tyson goes to the corner, his cut man is Dr. Ira Traki, a far superior choice to what was the case in Tokyo against James Buster Douglas, where Tyson's eye swelled while his corner fiddled.
Look, you got to relax yourself. Give me a towel to wipe him. Give me a towel, give me a towel, give me a towel.
Real relaxed, real relaxed.
Nice and relaxed. Now, look, Mike, look, listen to me. Now, look, you let this guy have his way on the outside. You understand? Don't let this man have his way on the outside. You got to be close to this man. You understand? You got to stay close. And when you get close, shoot your uppercuts and go to the body with this man. Okay? Use your feet.
He can't deal with nothing coming to him. This fight's going to be over with if you do. You sit down and get yourself together. Drink. You can't just be rich just to do this shit and do this. And shoot that damn uppercut some. The man is tired.
Watch Lennox Lewis use that jab really effectively. Popping Mike right on the eye. Popping Mike right off the side of the head. That jab very effective in that round, and the round previous probably is what opened that cut.
So as round 4 begins, Lennox Lewis has gotten the fight to go in the direction he wanted it to go. But Emmanuel Stewart still didn't seem happy between rounds. And Tyson again lands a left hook, but again Lewis is unfazed. Jab, jab, jab. Uppercut. That's been the Lewis pattern.
Lewis is fighting a smart fight, jabbing and tying Mike up on the inside. Jab on the wing, get the points. Hit him with the right hand.
Right hand. Right cross landed flush for Lewis. But Tyson took it well. He's got a good chin, Bobby.
Mike's got a good chin. He's pretty tough. You're not going to stop him in one shot. I don't think so. I really don't.
Another solid right cross, though. You can't take too many of those.
You sure can't knock him a man away. He's 250 pounds.
Tyson misses the left hook. Lewis counters effectively with the right. Big round for Lewis so far. Body shot by Lennox Lewis.
I think right now Mike Tyson's a little bit dazed. I think he's extremely confused.
He's not blocking Lewis's right hand, Bobby. Now some head movement. Tyson's confidence ebbing, Lewis's seeming to grow.
Mike seems to be loading up just a little too much, Jim, and he's taking a fraction of the speed off his punches, giving Lennox enough time to cover up. There, Mike came in with a jab and didn't do anything behind it. No hook, no right hand, no body work.
One punch at a time by Tyson. Another right hand lands flush and an uppercut as Lewis, just as he did with Michael Grant, effectively held Tyson's head in position with his left hand and hit him with the right.
And that is illegal. I'm surprised the referee didn't say anything. You can't do that, but it's done and over with.
If we can see it, we know Eddie Cotton can see it. Jab, jab. Tyson trying to duck inside, but not able to creatively attack.
Mike's not throwing enough punches. He wouldn't be able to tie his hands up if they were moving.
Another right hand flush. That one missed. Tyson lunging with the left hook. Lewis blocked it. Lands another right hand.
There were two right hands. They both would have just barely missed the mark. They glanced off each other's shoulders. That would have been explosive.
Bobby, Bobby, is Mike becoming increasingly vulnerable to these right hands because of the cut on his eye?
I don't think it's a cut on his eye. I think he's confused. I think he's not making the adjustments. Mentally, it's not clicking in what he needs to do.
And more. Down goes Tyson. It's not going to be ruled a knockdown because Eddie Cotton is going to say that Lewis was holding him while he hit him. Lawrence Cole, what's the ruling here?
He got pushed down, so that would not be a knockdown. He leaned on his back after that punch was gone, and then he pushed him down. Oh, they're dicked up in a point.
Now Eddie Cotton is going to deduct a point.
He hit him in the
Lennox
back.
Lewis
The point was for hitting him in the back, I believe. He hit Mike, he helped push Mike down, and then he hit him in the back.
So Lewis loses a point.
Don't turn it by him. Get this motherfucker out of here, man.
Listen to Emmanuel.
You're ready to get caught with some crazy shit. Step it up, the man is finished.
Put them shits together, baby.
You ain't never took it to himself. Get your hands.
You cannot just run in. The right hand is down. When he jab, throw the right hand and no hook behind it. Okay? Just give me a deep breath, champ. Okay? You can give me another round like that.
Watch Lennox Lewis on the way in. Mike bends. Now he's on the top of him, and he punches him in the back as he pushed him down a little bit. The weight of a 250-pound man, a little tough. Here you see him, look, jump on the back of his neck, push him down, and hit him in the back. That's a foul. Technically, that's a clean foul. I mean, that punch was nowhere near hitting legal territory.
But in the round, Lennox Lewis landed a series of right-hand shots, and Mike Tyson did all but nothing.
Mike Tyson right now is having problems adjusting. This round is going to be indicative of how this fight could turn out. If Mike Tyson can come back in this round.
Tyson tries to counter Lewis's jab with the right hand, misses wildly. Lewis on target with another combination. Bobby, how do you have it scored so far?
Well, I had first round for Mike, the next 3 for Lennox Lewis, but because he lost the point, he's only ahead by 1 point. The last round I would have given him, but it drew even when they took the point away.
Now there's blood on Tyson's left eye. So both eyes are bleeding.
Stop punch. Come on, let's go. Get up.
Lewis, jab. Tyson, not busy.
Mike is resorting. You see Mike resorting to just bending and looking to leap in with a punch. David Tua made the same mistake. Mike's supposed to work him behind the jab. The jabs don't even have to land. He's got to hit him.
Cut by Lewis. And again, he holds Tyson's head while he hits. And Eddie Cotton says, don't do it.
Look at me. You can hold the punch. Don't do it again. I'm taking another point away. Let's go, Mike.
Mike Tyson's eyes are in bad shape, Bobby Chaz.
Mike Tyson's eyes are cut. They're starting to swell. Lennox Lewis is having his way. If Mike doesn't start to put some hurt back on Lennox, see, he can't stay out there. He's just got a jab, and even if the jab doesn't land, just use it as a gap closer.
But now there's a danger sign for Lewis. With Tyson hurt, Lewis seems to be waiting for one big shot now.
You know what? That's not a smart thing to do. I think he should just work the way he's been working. Work behind the jab like that.
He can win the fight easily just by sticking the jab, or so it would appear. Tyson hasn't looked dangerous for the last couple of rounds. Lewis moving. Tyson finally steps in and fires a body shot.
Mike has no work output right now. He's got to throw punches. He's being outworked and he's being played with. He's being target practice. Not good for Mike Tyson.
Lewis able to load up on the uppercut and still landing.
He's able to do whatever he wants. Mike's not posing a threat to him at any part of the combination execution.
It is rapidly becoming what some boxing experts predicted might be the case, a technical mismatch between a veteran fighter who's been in the ring the whole time against top opposition and has a lot of craft, and another guy who may well have squandered too much of his ability.
You got a dead man in front of you, and you still doing this. Just let that shit go. This fight is over with. You gonna fuck around and let him catch you with some shit if you don't watch. This man is dead out there, but he wants to quit. And you out here playing.
I know. Give me all you got 1 round. just let me go hands. I just want your hands moving this round. Can you stay close to this man and get your hands moving this round for me?
Mike, you go out, you're fine.
Look, I need your hands moving. You got too much distance. You let this guy jab the hell out of you. You got to move your hands. Now we got to win this.
Doing else, the man that said that let this shit go. Right hand over top, right hand uppercut.
Stay alert, Lennox.
Any longer this fight going, this man is dangerous. You better get him out of here.
Right now. Exactly.
Goddamn right, man. This is ridiculous.
Alert. Hands up.
Lennox Lewis unloading at will. Here's a right uppercut that looks like opened the cut over the left eye of Mike Tyson. Turned it up nice and inside and followed with a little short inside right hook.
If Tyson's trainer, Ronnie Shields, seems disappointed and bewildered by his fighter's performance, Emmanuel Stewart is incensed, screaming at Lennox Lewis, you got a dead man in front of you, quit screwing around.
Well, what Emmanuel Stewart says is right to a degree. Not that he's a dead man, but when he has Mike on the ropes, close him out. Don't give him a chance to get back in the fight. He's dangerous at all times.
Now Lewis begins to expend more energy and again fires a right hand down the pipe.
Mike's just not punching. Mike's confused. The jab's in his face. Right hand's behind it. Lennox doing what he wants at his leisure.
How many right crosses can Mike Tyson take? That was big. Boy, Tyson's got a good chin.
Okay. He's hit Mike Lee with some big punches, and he's a good puncher, Lennox Lewis. Mike's showing a rock chin.
When he hit David Dewey with 2 of those shots in the first round, Dewey didn't want much part of him from that point forward. Crunch with the body shot by Tyson. One punch at a time, though, won't get it done.
It absolutely won't. One and done. He's never going to win this fight.
Lewis misses with that right hand, begins to paw again with the jab, and Emmanuel Stewart gets another stricken look on his face in the Lewis corner.
Lennox Lewis is content right now to just stay outside, stick the jab, and not really try and put a hurting on Mike. And Emmanuel Stewart wants him to finish this.
Target practice. Handy from a baby. This is easy for Lewis. If he doesn't get caught with something big, he's going to walk to victory.
And Mike's going back. And when Mike's going back, he's not effective whatsoever.
Step on. Easy, nice and easy. Come on, step back. Come on, step back.
But remember, Tyson remains dangerous. He lost all of the first 4 rounds to Franz Botha on all 3 cards, and then knocked him out with a big shot in the 5th. However, Lewis is no Franz Botha.
Now, Lewis does not have the chin of Botha, but he's also a much better fighter, much better defensive fighter, much better offensive fighter, 10 times more dangerous, and right now, commanding the show.
There's a little mouse under the left eye of Lewis, so Tyson has done some damage with the right hand.
He landed one good right hand, a left uppercut, and a right hand over the top a little bit ago, but again, 1 and 2, 1 and done, not enough.
And you wonder how long Mike will be able to see effectively out of 2 eyes that are swelling rapidly. Round 6 of a scheduled 12. Uppercut lands flush again. And again, Lewis had time to load it and fire it.
Mike seems to be befuddled. He seems to be totally confused. And I think just a piece of him has gotten stung.
I think Lewis is waiting in there because he thinks Mike is going to quit.
Keep throwing them damn uppercuts at him. He can't get away from him. Keep shooting uppercuts. What is this coming up?
7-8.
There's no way to where this man should be in here this long. And the longer he's in here, the dangerous it is. You keep working the jab, but you got to add to it. Every time you hesitate, you start to throw the shot, then you hesitate. Let the stop go. The man ain't that dangerous. Finish the shot going.
And come back with your right hand. You understand? Let your hands go. That's all we're telling you to do right now. Everybody can't talk in the corner.
You can do it.
One at a fucking time.
You can do it.
Listen, Mike,
Don't worry about it.
be fast. You understand me? Fast.
Lennox Lewis is standing there doing what he wants. There's a left and a right hand. Mike offering up almost nothing in return. Same replay, slow-mo. Left hand right to the temple, and then he just gets out of the way because Mike doesn't counter fast enough. It doesn't really counter enough.
Well, if ever Mike Tyson needed one lightning shot, now's the time. Lennox Lewis seemingly building a lead on the scorecards, although with a point deducted for holding and hitting. Bobby, how do you have it through 6?
Well, right now, after 6, I have it 4-1 with 1 even because the 1 even round was the point taken. Lennox was clearly winning the round, but he fouled Mike. right now, 58-55. It's a three-point edge. Mike Tyson is quickly approaching the point of no return.
Another good right-hand shot for Lewis. Tyson not doing much of anything. Jab for Lewis. Tyson at range where he can't find it. Another big right hand. Target practice.
Don't show the elbow. Don't show the elbow.
Now Eddie Cotton finds another foul.
Well, Lennox Lewis pushed off with a forearm, which is technically illegal. It's not called an awful lot, but nonetheless illegal.
Biggest upset of the night. Every warning by Cotton so far goes to Lennox Lewis. Mike Tyson hadn't been close to committing a foul.
He really hasn't. He's a little too docile tonight, all the way around. I see no meanness in his eyes.
Now blood trickling from the nose of Tyson, as well as both eyes. Oh, huge right hand by Lewis.
That was mostly blocked by Mike, but he's not offering up anything back. He threw a small left hook to the body, nothing there. Mike Tyson is being dictated to by the all-important Lennox Lewis jab and a good right hand with pinpoint accuracy tonight.
Mike Tyson is being dictated to by craft, technique, professional skill. That's what Lewis has in addition to his size.
And he certainly demonstrated some of the very best of it tonight.
Huge right hands. They're missing, they're glancing blows, but Tyson's doing nothing in return, and the blood and the swelling increasingly distracting to Mike.
Get out, get out. Come on, get out. Come on.
I don't know if Mike Tyson has enough energy to do what he's going to need to do to win this fight by decision.
Low blow by Tyson. That's the first time he's had a foul. Eddie Cotton didn't see it.
Eddie Cotton was in a bad position behind Lennox Lewis. But Mike's not looking like he's on sturdy feet right now. His legs are squaring off. They're a little bit rubbery. And right now he is getting teed off on him.
You know, you can't spend 5 years in Class C ball and then go pitch in the World Series. That's what Mike Tyson is finding out right here.
It just doesn't work that way.
Listen to me, champion. Look, listen to me. Listen to me.
Why, Mike?
Look,
Punch or nothing.
Look, you
Punch or
understand? Listen to me.
nothing.
You're fighting for the heavyweight championship again. You understand? Not many people can do that. You understand? Now look, I'm not going to sit out there and just let you do this. You understand? You have to throw your punches. You understand? For God's sake, you have two hands. You understand? Just let your hands go. Yes, you can. No, let your hands go.
Listen, Mike.
I want your hands to move.
You done took this guy's best shot.
This
And
guy
then
got
you-
nothing
you-
for you.
The guy, you took his best shot. This guy's getting tired. It's time for you to go to work, brother.
Come on, man.
Go to work.
You
You
train
took his best
hard.
shot.
Lennox Lewis using that jab and another right hand, left hook behind it, just constantly working a beautiful right hand over the jab. Lennox Lewis keeping Mike at bay with the jab. An overhead view. There's a poke in to the left. There comes the right hand over the jab. Mike not throwing enough punches to make Lennox worry about anything. Lennox doing what he wants.
Occasionally, Lewis has felt a significant punch from Tyson, thus the swelling under the left eye. But basically, Mike has thrown one punch at a time, and most of them ineffective. Lewis is the only man in the fight who's landed a combination. There's a three-punch combination. There's another right cross. Mike just ducking, not firing.
Mike almost appears to be resolved that he's not going to win this fight. Let me just stand here and take it. Take one swing here and there, but it doesn't look like he's trying to win. You have to put yourself in a position to win by fighting. He's not fighting.
Ronnie Shields was trying to say to Tyson in a subtle way that he'll consider throwing in the towel if this gets worse. What a letdown it would be to the Tyson public to see Iron Mike throw in the towel.
There's a beautiful right hand to the body, but he should have came up top with the left hook.
Tyson trying to let his hands go, catches two huge uppercuts.
Why did Eddie Cotton pull him off?
And I called him a knockdown. I think he might have raised the canvas. I'm not sure.
7, 8. You all right, Mike? Come on, you have to go, Mike.
So it's being counted as a knockdown because there's no standing 8 count in effect. Tyson's glove must have been seen to touch the canvas. First knockdown of the fight. Now Lewis goes for the knockout. Hurts Tyson with the right hand. Tyson grabbing and holding on.
Almost half the round is left. I don't know if Mike has enough to keep Lennox off.
Lopsided fight, getting more so. Big shots from Lewis. Tyson gets in an uppercut. Shades of Tokyo and the one time he got the Buster Douglas at the end of the 8th round. And that's going to be perhaps the end of the fight. It'll take some courage for Mike to get up from that shot.
7, 8, 9.
He's out. Lennox Lewis knocks out Mike Tyson and banishes him from the upper stratosphere of the heavyweight division right now.
The worst performance of Mike's life.
He was in against a guy who was way too good.
Last man standing. Everybody back. Give him some water. Give him some water. Give him some water. Here, Mike, take some water, Mike.
So even though Emmanuel Stewart thought it should have gone quicker, Lennox Lewis gets the last laugh. His wisdom plays out. He played it coolly in the ring, and he waited until Mike was most vulnerable and took him out.
Lennox didn't take any stupid chances. It's a smart move. It was smart boxing. He dominated Mike from start to finish. Mike never got on track, and Lennox didn't let him get a chance to get in the game.
Would you call that one of the better Lewis's performances you've seen?
That may be the best performance I've seen Lewis to date.
And it answers the question of who's the best heavyweight for now, doesn't it?
Does for me.
Here's the knockout, Bobby.
You watch the right uppercut. He hurts Mike with it, and then hits him with a beautiful left uppercut following. Mike there, I wasn't sure if the right knee touched. I thought it didn't, but evidently Eddie Cotton thought it did. But watch his left uppercut lift up right on Mike's jaw. You see him, his legs buckle, and I still can't. His knee did not hit the canvas. He does not go down.
Moot point.
He does not go down. There's no standing 8 count. Eddie Cotton made a mistake.
If he didn't go down, then in effect the knockdown count was at benefit to Tyson because it gave him a chance to recover.
And here's the end. Mike gets caught with another right hand, and this is it. He is done. That one a la Hasim Rahman too.
Well, it took Buster Douglas 10 rounds to knock out Mike Tyson. It took Evander Holyfield 9+. Lennox Lewis gets it done in the 8th.
7+.
7+. And the Lewis right hand now ranks as the dominant weapon in the heavyweight division, as he showed tonight.
That he did, and he has just done a lot to seal his legacy in the Hall of Fame for the future.
Walking past us right now, a very happy Violet Lewis, Lennox's mother, who's been with him all the way through his championship run. Lennox Lewis, world junior champion, Olympic gold medalist, 3-time heavyweight champion, knockout conqueror of Mike Tyson. What else could he prove, Bobby?
Right now, there's not much he can prove. I'm sure he wants to be undisputed one more time. I'm not sure the winner of Ruiz or Kirk Johnson will face him, but I bet you that's what comes out of his mouth in the interview.
He'd be a heavy favorite over either. Here are the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight here in Memphis, Tennessee, the legacy of a 3-time heavyweight champion has been embraced as the referee reaches the count of 10 at 2 minutes, 25 seconds of round number 8. The winner by knockout victory and still the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the pride of Great Britain, Lennox Lewis.
Come on up. Okay, thank you very much. Lennox, Mike, if you can come on over here.
One more
Gentlemen.
replay look. at the crunching right hand, which ended the evening for Mike Tyson and gave Lennox Lewis the biggest, gaudiest, showiest victory of his career. There were those who thought that Lewis didn't prove enough with his decision against Holyfield. Let's see what they think now. And let's go into the ring where Jim Gray is standing by with Lennox Lewis.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Lennox, congratulations to you. You dominated this fight. Was that what you had anticipated?
Yeah, basically, you know, I just wanted to stay to the game plan, use my jab. The first round was a bit rough for me because I never settled down. Manny told me to settle down a bit more. And actually, Manny told me to take him out like the fourth round, but still, you know, I just wanted to soften him up a bit more with my jab. But he was still determined, he was still tough. And he can take a hell of a punch because I hit him with some great punches, and boy, he can take him, for real.
We have Mike Tyson here as well. Mike, have you changed your opinion now of Lennox Lewis?
Well, no. Believe it or not, I've known Lennox for like 15, 16 years. We've always been friends, but in competition, the best man has to win. We have to do everything we can. I'm happy for him to give me a fight. The payday was wonderful. I really appreciate it. And if you could be kind enough, I'd love to do it again. I think I could beat you if we try one more time.
Mike, what gives you any indication that you could beat him after this performance? And was it a lack of quality opponents going into this that hurt you?
I explained before I needed 2 more fights or 3 more fights to fight him. But I believe if I would have took that route, the fight probably would have never happened. He wouldn't have waited for me. And again, he was just splendid, a masterful boxer. I just take my hand off to you and just please, if you can give me one more chance, I'd be greatly appreciative.
Are you interested in that at all, based on the way you controlled this fight?
You know, I just wanted to complete my legacy. You know, everybody was saying that, you know, this fight is going to count on my legacy. So I just wanted to prove to the people that, you know, I'm the best fighter in the world, on the planet. No guy tests this, man.
You proved that right now. You were quite annoyed. You had some very derogatory things to say about Mike coming into this fight. You said you had to win this fight to clean up boxing. Do you feel you've accomplished that?
Well, I showed boxing, you know, who's the best in the world. I went out there and showed them I'm a pugilist specialist. I can adapt to any style. And, you know, he showed me one style that a lot of people didn't think I was going to be able to deal with. But I was able to deal with it. A lot of people thought he was going to get away from my jab, but nobody gets away from my jab.
Mike, you behaved tonight. Everybody.
Biggest fans, brother.
Manny Stewart, say that again.
I was telling Mike, I'm still one of his biggest fans. He's given me so many thrills, man. You know, go back to Roderick Moore, you remember?
My friend Roderick.
Mike, you've given all of us a lot of excitement. Most
Thank you.
Heavyweight in the last 50 years.
Thank you very much. It was just beautiful. I'm just so happy you gave me a chance. Nobody wanted to give me a chance. Don King didn't want to give me a chance. I'm just happy someone gave me a chance. Thank you very much.
Champ and Mike, how sorry are you guys that this fight did not occur many years ago when you were at your best, and probably you weren't quite as old either?
Well, you know, the funny thing about that is, you know, heavyweights mature at different times. I would say Mike Tyson matured at 19. Nothing was standing in his way at that time. He ruled the planet at that time. But I'm like fine wine. I come along later on, and you know, I learned my art, and I went along and just took my time, and I came along and just ruled. I'm ruling now.
Mike, are you sorry this fight didn't take place years ago?
It wasn't meant to be. I've known Lennox ever since he was 16, 15 years old. I have mad respect. Everything I said was in proposition for promoting the fight. He knows I love him and his mother, and I know if he thinks I don't have respect and don't love him, he's crazy.
So you're saying a lot of the behavior, Mike, is just to sell tickets, and that doesn't represent your true feelings?
Well, he knows who I am, and he knows I'm not disrespectful. I respect this man as a brother. He knew me ever since his friend Bernie and Cuss were together, and he knows I have the much respect for him. Like I said before, he's a magnificent, a prolific fighter, and he should continue fighting. I would just love for him to give me another shot.
How important was it for you tonight, Mike, to come out here and be a sportsman and behave in the ring?
Oh, no, it was very, but I said I love and respect him too much to do anything disrespectful to him. And he knows that. And for him to think that is absolutely crazy.
Mike, we appreciate your time. You're most gracious in defeat tonight, and I think a lot of fans out there will appreciate the way that you've handled yourself tonight after some disappointing moments and some behavior in the past that hasn't been very well at all.
Excuse me.
Lennox, what now happens for you? Where do you go now? You've basically proven everything. You've beaten everybody. You've avenged the losses you've had, and you've conquered the man who you said would make your legacy. What now?
Well, you know, I'm going to take one day at a time. see what happens after this. I just wanted to complete this goal. Everybody was asking me what I'm going to do after this fight. But, you know, I'm the best fighter in the world. I just wanted to prove that to the whole planet. And, you know, I'm going to take one day at a time.
When he bit you, what was your reaction back on January 22nd? And did you think this one was going out the window?
Shit, I was shocked, you know, because I'm saying we're two fighters. We're going to fight it out. Why not? Let's fight it out. But the man grabbed my leg and bit it. I was shocked. And then in some way, I thought he was trying to get out of the fight. But then I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get him back in the fight, you know. Biting was first blood. I got second blood tonight.
Well, let's take a look at that second blood. We have a chance to look down at the monitor. If you'll jump forward here for us and tell us what happened on the knockout punch. He had already gone down with the standing 8 count.
I was noticing he was ducking to his left, to my right, and I just wanted to catch him as he was doing that. And I caught him right on the chin, and he went down. But I'm telling you, some of those punches I caught him on the right side, he took like a man, and I was shocked that he was able to take him because I felt him right through my hand.
Were you surprised that he was only one punch and out tonight, that he put together no combinations?
No, you know, I'm thinking that Mike Tyson at his best. I'm in there not taking no chances, just waiting for my time, and just going about my sport as a pugilist specialist.
Would you give him a rematch? Is that a legitimate request after this?
Well, you know, he's asked for one. I definitely would consider it, you know, but it depends what the people want. You know, I'm going to take one day at a time. Emmanuel Stewart, the best trainer in the world. No guy tests this trainer.
Last question, possible retirement. Might this have been the crowning achievement and you'll say goodnight?
Yes, possible. Anything is possible. Big up our crew.
Lennox Lewis, congratulations to you. Terrific fight tonight. Okay. All right, Jim Lampley, let's go back down to you.
Thank you, Jim. And Bobby, let's out our voices on one subject. Mike Tyson came in here, fought a clean, sportsmanlike fight, was utterly sportsmanlike in the ring afterward. What an amazing shot. Mike wiping the blood off of Lennox's cheek while Lennox answered one of Jim Gray's questions. Credit to Tyson for being a real man in there.
Credit to Tyson for being a real sportsman, being humbled. He, much like myself, is humbled by Lennox Lewis. Lennox knows that I picked Mike. Mike knows I picked Mike. You know I picked Mike. Lennox Lewis today was the epitome of the sweet science. And I've always said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and a fighter with something to prove. Lennox had something to prove, and he proved it tonight in blazing glory.
After this, given the fact that the contract allows for a rematch, either next or after one more fight for Lewis if he chooses, now that Lewis has the confidence of having done this, what chance is there that the rematch could be competitive?
I think the rematch might be a little more competitive because Mike wasn't expecting what he got. Now he might be able to make some of those adjustments that he and his corner weren't able to make in the first few rounds, which is what led him constantly getting punished and eventually knocked out.
But he's going to have to go back to throwing combinations. He's going to have to be much more disciplined in punching to the body. He's going to have to be a lot better.
I completely agree, and I think if he looks at that tape, just my simple call of working behind the jab, even if it doesn't land, will shut down that distance, put a hand in Lewis's face to worry about and deal with, go to the body, but then come immediately up. That's the only way he can win against big men. Only way.
Well, it was one thing for Lewis to avenge his defeat to Hasim Rahman by knocking Rahman out in November. It was spectacular, but a lot of people thought, well, of course, he was supposed to do that before in South Africa. But a lot of people didn't think that Lennox Lewis could attack and destroy against a machine like Mike Tyson. And now Lewis has answered all of those doubters as well. Another big right hand from Lewis, similar to the one that finished Rahman. And now Mike Tyson has a lot to think about as he goes off into the darkness of this latest bad night. As Tyson falls and the count reaches 10, let's go back upstairs to James Brown.
All right, Jim and Bobby Chaz, thank you guys so very much. We are blessed to be joined by one of the sharpest minds, if not the fastest hands in the business, Roy Jones Jr. Your insight, absolutely always on the mark. First of all, let me do it in reverse order. Were you surprised at the graciousness that Tyson displayed toward Lewis at the end?
No, man. I think Tyson deserved to come out and show the world that he's still a man. He, you know, a lot of things Tyson has been accused of, I don't really think that he meant any harm. It's just that Tyson has a legacy. He has a person. He has his character about him that he has to go out and display. He can't let you look at him as some wimp or some nice guy. That was never the Mike Tyson of boxing, so he cannot be that.
So even the crass, vulgar remarks that we heard throughout the promotion route by Tyson, he says aimed at promoting the fight.
I believe that. I dearly believe that because he knows what he was getting himself into. he really, like he said, he needed more time to prepare. That's why he wasn't throwing combinations and bunches tonight. He hasn't had a decent fight since 1997 when he fought Evander Holyfield. He has a lot of turmoil from that time to now. That's a lot of time to not have a competitive heavyweight fight.
As well as Jim Lampley underscored during the bout, you heard Tyson at least twice request another fight from Lennox Lewis. Financially driven, or because he firmly believes that he can beat him?
Well, I think it's partially both. Financially driven because that's the biggest fight for him right now. He really feels like, I mean, a guy who didn't get a chance. He didn't get a fair opportunity to prepare for this. A lot of it, some of it probably his fault, some of it probably other reasons. But he didn't get the opportunity to really tune himself up and get ready for a Lennox Lewis fight. This is why I predicted if the fight went past 3 rounds, it was Lennox Lewis all day. Lennox has been fighting competitive fights. Tyson hasn't really had a chance to put together a string of competitive victories.
And I guess just to coattail on that, extrapolating it just a bit more, Tyson did say after the Brian Milson fight of the Danish pastry, if you will, that he did in fact need at least 2 more competitive fights before he could step up in quality. Now, if you're Lennox Lewis, you've done it all. What more is there to prove? Should he retire? Should he continue on?
Well, I mean, he doesn't really have anything left to prove. He pretty much silenced all the critics tonight. He did everything that he should have done. He fought a very smart fight. He started out a little dangerous because you don't go out and trade with Mike Tyson and you're 6'5", but he pulled himself together. It kind of wore both fighters down, and he was able to pick up his second win a lot quicker than Mike because he's been doing this over the last 5 or 6 years. Mike, like I said again, hasn't had a competitive fight since the Holyfield fight.
Final point. Terrific technician was Lewis in the ring tonight, and a masterful game plan by his trainer, Emmanuel Stewart.
Very masterful game plan. Use the jab, frustrate Mike, keep him on the ropes, keep him backing up, never let him get his balance, never let him put a string of 2 or 3 punches together. That is when he's most dangerous. But by knowing the fact, Emmanuel knowing that Mike has been off so long, he knows that Mike has rust and that the rust would show up late in the fight. So he wanted to get Lennox through the first few rounds, use the jab, be smart, be patient, and the knockout will come.
I think you know this from me. It's good to see you again, dude.
Thank you so much. It's good to see everybody. All my fans, Roy Jones is coming. I offer Bernard Hopkins $6 million. If he don't take it, he's a punk and he won't fight me. It's simple as that. $6 million is 3 times more than he got to fight against Felix Trinidad. I'm telling you right now, $6 million is on the table. If you want Roy Jones, step up or shut up.
They must have forgot Roy can chat as well, too. Hey, folks, let me just say this real quickly. I'm certainly pleased to have seen the graciousness displayed by Mike Tyson. I consider him a better man for having done that as well. Lennox Lewis, while he may not have captured the public's fancy with his style, a superb champion, and you cannot deny the technical proficiency that he delivers consistently whenever he's in the ring. All right, folks, Lewis versus Tyson has been brought to you by the Pyramid Memphis. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This Bud's for you. And special thanks to America Online and AOL members for participating in tonight's telecast. We'd also like to thank our internet partners and the following magazine partners. And finally, we'd like to thank our friends at Sanyo Blimp for their aerial coverage of Memphis this evening. And so, for all of us here at the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, this is James Brown saying so long. Our executive producers have been Rick Bernstein and Jay Larkin. Tonight's telecast was produced by Dave Harmon and directed by Mark Payton. Associate producers Brian Lockhart, Cameron Penn, and Betsy Aronin. Feature producers Max Siegel, Gil Knight, and Pete Radovich. Assistants to the producers Aptine Motia and Greg Stern. Production managers Mark Hayden and John McCallie. Technical supervisor Bob Hunter, and the technical director Doug Getz.